Hello everybody, Joe here and happy Thursday. So today's video is a Thoughtful Thursday, which is a collab with my friend Joy at Organized with Joy. And it's just us sharing our thoughts on a topic, sharing our thoughts about something. My friend Joy does like to usually get something done while she is sharing her thoughts. For me, I live with chronic illness and chronic pain and stuff, and so I like to conserve my stamina where I can. So I usually sit and talk during these videos. But if you want to hear my thoughts on something, if you want to hear her thoughts on a topic, join us, watch the playlist. And if you like tidying and cleaning and organizing motivation, then you'll love our channels. So I would encourage you to watch her channel and subscribe to it, to watch my channel and subscribe to it, or just watch and support by liking or commenting or both. So for today's Thoughtful Thursday, I want to talk about photos. Bad time to get something in my eye. Anyway, I want to talk about photos. When I recently switched phones, all my photos and everything got transferred over to my new phone, and I did not realize I had over 1,100 photos transferred from my old phone to my new phone. I did not realize I had that many because I regularly declutter photos from my phone and videos from my phone. So having that many was a bit of a shock. But I've been decluttering photos from my phone, and it's down to around like 550. And I'm going to slowly whittle it down until it's the amount that I want to keep, or the photos and videos that I want to keep. So, and then you'll see over next to me is this white box. And in it is full of childhood photos, family photos, photos I've received over the years. And I would consider a curated collection of photos, because we had basically we had one family member who is keeping and storing all the photos, all the family photos, multiple bins of and albums of all these family photos. And a few years ago, they kept the photos they wanted to keep and then divided all the rest of the photos either into the trash or between me and my siblings. And so we each got a white box with our name on it with a bunch of photos in it. Before that, I already had some photos in frames. I had these 2 photo albums, which I emptied and I emptied those today and put those photos in the box. because although the photos and the frames in the frames I showed you, you can see still have, to protect privacy, but still have the photos in them. So as of right now, I plan on keeping these 3 photos. Whether I keep them in the frames and keep them that way, or whether I scan them digitally, I'm not sure yet. But as of right now, I plan to keep these 3 photos. Now, in the box of photos here, I have like school photos of my niece and nephews, like their school photos that they've had done. Not for every year, but just a couple photos. And I'm debating scanning those and keeping those. Except for the photos in the frames, I don't plan on keeping any physical photos. If I'm going to keep photos, I plan on keeping them scanned and having them digital. So I'll probably keep the school photos of my niece and nephews. I'm not sure yet. But all the other photos in this box, I have a family member who wants to look through the box and see if there's any that they want to keep. But basically, and hopefully that will happen tonight, fingers crossed, it's going to happen very soon. But basically, if they don't want any of the photos, because I did send a group message, and if they don't want any of the photos, then all the photos are going to get thrown away. And so this video, I'm going to explain to you why I'm not keeping most of 99.9% of my photos, and with decluttering, especially with sentimental items, sometimes you need a second opinion, a second eye to help you think clearly about it. And sometimes with sentimental stuff, that can also be a hindrance, because they convince you to keep sentimental stuff that you wouldn't necessarily keep. But I basically sent a message to my siblings saying, hey, do any of you want the photos? Because I'm not sentimentally attached to the photos. And basically all of them didn't really care either. They didn't want the photos, didn't care about the photos. They have their own photos that they've kept. But like I said, I have the one sibling who is going to look through the photos and see if they want any of them. And of course, they would scan whatever they want, have it, get it scanned digitally if they keep any of it. And then the physical photos will probably get tossed. But for me, and my family, we have family trauma, childhood trauma, all these things. And you can have these glimmers of good things, and these good memories and everything. But I realized for me that, because I had put off the past few years looking through the box of photos, I didn't want to get triggered and deal with past emotions and past trauma, because I just wasn't there yet. So, was it last year? Yeah, last year I finally I was with my mom, and I was going through finally went through the box of photos, and I admitted to her that looking at the photos, no memories were brought up. It wasn't like, oh, you look at a photo and you go back and you remember something and remember a day or remember people. I didn't have that. Like with grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends, were the people in the pictures where I'm like, oh, I know who this person is. I know who this person is. Yes, it was. But when it came to the photo and the memory and what was going on during that time, or what was happening when we were taking that photo, I draw a complete blank. Like, it does not trigger any sort of memory for me. So for me personally, I'm not sentimentally attached to any of my physical photos. They just don't mean anything to me. Now, for me, how I remember things or remember pieces of my past or childhood, remember people in my life, like my grandparents or something, or friends, is certain foods, doing certain things, certain smells, even just certain colors remind me of somebody, or will like trigger a childhood memory or something. But photos just don't do that for me. It's not. I've blocked it out. And I have family members who are the family historians who like to keep track of our family history and who's who, and, have all that information. As far as I know, still have all that information saved and everything, and have that history saved. And so I don't feel the need or the pressure to have that information or to keep it for myself. Because if I really want to know about things, they talk about it, or I can talk to them about it, and so there's that. So I am releasing all of the photos. Like I said, there are a couple of photos I will probably keep of my niece and nephews. The photos in the frames I might keep. And then the photo albums, like I said, I already emptied those photos into the box. So when my family member goes through it, if they choose to keep anything, that's up to them. But if not, all those photos are just going to go in the trash. And I have some guilt, I guess you could say, around the idea of just throwing the photos away. And I've been putting off asking family and siblings whether they want any of the photos, because I don't want them to hold on to trauma. I don't want to pass the trauma around. And so I wasn't. So you maybe heard me mention in past videos over the past few months about how I need to deal with the photos, how I'm going to do something with the photos, someone gives me the photos, so I might throw away the photos. Well, now it's happening. I can't put it off any longer. It's just, I've been putting off wondering what to do with photos for the past few years, and I've finally come to a final decision to, like I said, I asked them, and they're like, we don't want them. I have the one family member who's going to go through and see if they want them. If not, they're all going to get thrown away. My thought is that after they go through all the photos and we decide if there are any photos that I maybe decide I want to keep, or if there are any photos that they want to keep, that we'll set those aside. And then I'll probably, either in my next video or in a short, show me just throwing away all the photos. And I've lived minimally since 2016, and I do have some sentimental items from my childhood, from my life, but not very many. I would consider a small amount. So this Thoughtful Thursday is me saying, one, just sharing my thoughts on the photos and everything. And, I have healed a lot from things that have happened to me in my life. And I think, good or bad, what happens to you makes you who you are. And if you're happy with who you are, then not really any regrets. Now, being happy with who you are and being a bad person is they're like the exception to that. But because I don't think being a bad person should be encouraged. But the good and the bad and the in-between, all of it, I'm happy with the person that I've become. I'm happy and secure in the fact that I'm agnostic. I am happy and secure in the fact that I'm disabled, that my body sucks and I deal with chronic illness and chronic pain. I'm happy and secure in the fact that I'm a lesbian. I've been out since 2008, as far as that's concerned. I'm happy and secure in the fact that I live minimally and live simply, and I have since 2016. And I am secure in the fact that I'm willing to get rid of all these photos after years of debating. Like I said, I still have over 500 photos on my phone I need to go through that I've been slowly walking through. But considering like a week ago I had like 1,100 photos on my phone, I would say I'm making progress. And a lot of the photos are screenshots of medical stuff, to be honest, because I'm trying to get answers for what's been going on with me medically the past few months. And so there's just some medical stuff I want to save to look back on as we try and get answers for things. But once I have answers, I'm not sure I'm going to save that medical information. Anyway, need to save it. Anyways, actually, probably don't need to save it now because the doctors have it, but it is what it is. If you deal with chronic illness, you know that you like to save medical information, and we usually have to save medical information because of our health issues and doctors and all that stuff. But that's not what this video is about. So this is me. So those are my thoughts. I'm hoping this makes sense. And this is me giving you permission that you don't have to keep all or any of your photos, physical or digital. If a photo does not bring up memories for you, or seeing it makes you sad or angry, I would highly recommend letting the photos go. But and like I said, anyways, my brain fog. But I have other things in my life that trigger memories for me. Foods, smells, doing certain things. So for me, I don't need photos. And like I said, looking back through those photos didn't really trigger any memories. It's just not a thing for me. So I'll be letting all the photos go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I will have Joy's video linked in my description box below. I want to thank my friend Joy for hosting this. And if anybody else ends up joining us, then it'll be a playlist, and that will be linked in my description box. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on photos. I hope this made sense to you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. I have a video uploaded and coming out the first Friday of June. And that video is like lead up to this one, because it's me actually going through the photos. And then saying how I'm going to explain in this video why I'm letting go of the photos. So they're a little flip-flopped. It's just the way things worked out. But I hope you enjoyed this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. As Joy would say, I'd love to hear your thoughts on my thoughts. Go watch her video, and we'll see you next time. Bye!